Thank you for your interest in Emendara and the reality of fault-free software. There are commentators who believe that software has the worst quality of any man-made product since the beginning of time. That's really the elephant in the room. We've become so accustomed to faulty software that we've reached the conclusion it can be no other way. You just have to live with it. There's nothing you can do. But look at this one fact alone. Healthcare.gov has 500 million lines of code. Your car can have 100 million lines of code. Your cell phone has about 10 million. Even a pacemaker has 90,000 lines of code. We are surrounded by software. This is scary stuff. The cost of faulty software to our economy, our business performance, our innovation, customer service, our very health and security is absolutely enormous. It's not that we're not trying to do something about it, but those fixes, those upgrades we get all the time account for almost half of all the faults that continue to frustrate us. It's an enormous challenge, and it's a challenge that must be met now. The stakes are just too high, the rewards too great to do otherwise. And that's where Emendara comes in. I'm very proud to introduce you to our senior leadership team, Ron Yeager, Ian Percy, Brian Smith, Stefan Recchi, all with remarkably successful backgrounds, a wide variety of education and work experience, but most importantly, all of them totally committed to bringing the reality of fault-free software to the business world. We make fault-free software possible. It can't be said any simpler than that. Dramatically improving the overall performance of your current system, cutting what you're paying now for development and maintenance of your software in half, helping you integrate new programs into the existing programs at a fraction of what you're currently paying, and even strengthening your cybersecurity because we can provide you a foundation of fault-free software. Wouldn't everybody want that? Well, the sad reality is no, they wouldn't. There's a lot of businesses out there that really don't care all that much. As long as it's close enough, as long as they can get by, that's all they care about. There are developers who are knowingly selling you faulty software. We have a different perspective. We want to work with software developers and users where fault-free software is mission critical. We're talking about healthcare, transportation, finance, artificial intelligence, defense, industrial controls, big data research, cybersecurity, but most importantly, working with any organization that wants that confidence, that competitive advantage that can be built only on a fault-free software system. Software typically follows this process in its development, 5 critical stages. The one that we're focused on is the testing phase. We are redefining what it means to test source code. We are enabling developers to literally deploy to their marketplace fault-free software. Are there competitors? Yes, actually there's quite a few of them. Unfortunately, most of them are looking for predefined faults, which means they're leaving about 25% of faults undetected, faults that could come back and haunt you. The cost of inadequate testing today is $59 billion annually in the United States alone. Emendara's technology finds all of the actual faults in a software system, and we do so about 600% faster than current programs do. How do we do that? Well, we combine public and proprietary, logical, semantic, mathematical technologies and processes in a way that no one has thought of before. In fact, we work in exactly the opposite way to what all those other competitors do. The system looks pretty well like this. It's very sophisticated and complex, but basically follows stages of pre-processing, analysis, symbolic representation, and then finally delivering that to the user interface. And that's where we want to focus our attention at this moment. What does the developer actually see and engage with? Well, it looks something like this, a very simple, intuitive page where there are a number of controls that enable that developer to manipulate how they want their source code handled. The magic happens in the middle portion. As you can see, we can identify at precisely what line in all of this source code a fault has taken place, and not only that, what kind of a fault it is. And you can see it very clearly right there. First of all, there's the type of fault, and there's where it's located. Right now, developers will spend an enormous amount of time just trying to find what is wrong with this program. This process takes them exactly to the problem where they can resolve it. Behind that scene, supporting that interface, again, is this process. And what you see in the red squares is what we have fully automated. Now, As we said, no matter how complex it is, we're happy to share that with you. We can do that manually. We can show you how we use predicate calculus to calculate weakest preconditions, but you're going to be subjected to slides that look like those. Or we can show you how we have automated this process. And really, it's been a remarkable breakthrough. What does this mean? What does this mean to the developer? What it means is that developer can take their genius and do what they've always wanted to do, and that is spend it in innovation and creativity, developing amazing software products, not spending all their time trying to find what's wrong, trying to find a fault that somebody else created for them. For the user, it means absolute confidence that the information they're being given by their software system is they can base their decisions on it. They know they have reduced their software costs to the absolute minimum, that they have a program that's reliable and there for them, so they can help lead their company to its highest potential. Well, you can see how we're doing here. We've well past our proof of concept stage. We know that this schedule can be accelerated with the addition of further investment and partnerships, but we are very, very pleased with the kind of progress that we have been making with this remarkable breakthrough. We welcome conversations with you, whether it's from an investment point of view or as a strategic partner. We want to work with those who really are aligned with the vision of bringing fault-free software to our world. We would welcome that conversation, and we thank you for your attention.